From the mountain tops to the prairies wide, we carved our dreams where the wild winds ride. With pick and shovel we staked our claim. Through fire and rain we bore no shame. The red dirt stained our boots and skin, but it built the place we all live in. Oh, Red Dirt Nation, rise and stand from the treasures deep in the soil's hand. A family of brothers hand in hand. This is our home. This is our land. The river sang as we toiled away. Their whispers kept the fears at bay. Fields of gold from the seeds we sowed, a testament to the lives we owed. Though the wind may howl, the earth may quake, but roots run deep with every stake. The blood, the sweat, the laughter too. This red dirt binds me and you. Oh, Red Dirt Nation, rise and stand from the treasures deep in the soil's hand. A family of brothers hand in hand. This is our home. This is our land.
How's it going, everybody? Red Dirt Nation here. I'm 403 Prospector. We got Prospecting 406 Nick and 406 Miner Stacy, and our co-host Carl Madley. Reg is down in the chat modding us up and making sure chat is behaving.
That's right.
Yeah, we got a special guest tonight, Mr. Mike Pung from Gold Cube. So we're excited to have him here with us. Carl's got an intro for the man himself.
All right. Mike Pung is a veteran gold prospector and innovative inventor, best known for creating the Gold Cube, a highly efficient gravity-based sluice system designed for fine gold recovery. With over 40 years in the field, he's earned a reputation in the prospecting community as a hands-on tinkerer who transformed frustration with traditional equipment into practical game-changing tools. His work emphasizes simplicity, speed, and maximizing yields from challenging materials like black sands and ultrafine particles, often summed up in his golden rule. When everything's the same, gold rules. A philosophy centered on precise classification to separate gold by size. Welcome, everybody, Mr. Mike Pung.
Hey, everybody.
Yay!
That's quite an intro. I got to live up to that.
No, I'm not getting interviewed. There we go.
There you go.
There's the man.
He's getting interviewed.
And now the interview goes down. No, just kidding.
No,
Right. So how y'all been?
Good, all right, Mike.
Busy. How about yourself, Mike?
Yeah, real good. Yeah, I guess up there north of the border, though, the water's a little bit hard, isn't it?
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah. No more using the Gold Cube up on the North Saskatchewan right now. So.
Right. Yeah, it's not unless you find the hole, and then you'll probably fall in it too. But
exactly.
hopefully you'll catch a fish while you're down there.
Yeah.
The guys in chat say it's 12 degrees in Michigan, 24 degrees. I think that's Indiana. I'm showing 21. Michigan says 8 inches of snow and more on the way. How's it in Missoula, guys?
39 degrees, and most of the snow is gone from the rain.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tropical.
It's been raining off and on. But there's a real cold chill in the air.
We got like 6 inches of snow in 24 hours, and now it's mostly gone.
Nice.
We had a light dusting a couple of days ago, but it was gone by lunchtime.
Wow.
Jeez.
Yeah, good old Oklahoma snow.
Oklahoma. Yeah. I've been in Oklahoma in the winter.
So the
Yeah, did you bring your shorts?
Yeah.
It's just too flat there. The snow just blows away.
Yeah, we call it snert. It's snow and dirt. It just kind of blows through.
Snert.
So you're wearing the famous hat, Gold Cube hat, the cube it or lose it, your famous catch, your tagline. So what first got you into gold prospecting, and how did that journey lead you to found the Gold Cube?
Well, I was helping my mom and her new husband through Alaska and Canada, and Ma said that when we get to Chicken, Alaska, that she was going to we were going to do some gold panning. I said, whatever makes you happy, Ma. I'm here to help. I tell you what, I got that first flash in the pan, and it was all over with.
Sucker.
Yeah, sucker. Yeah, I was out there panning, and Ma showed me how to pan, so I guess I started panning like a girl. That's why I'm so good. But, so, and then we didn't have snuffer bottles, so she's telling me how to just take and put your finger on that little piece of gold and put it on the snuffer bottle or in the vial, and boy, that sure took a long time. And then getting that gold out of the black sand was a pain in the butt too. So I started just when I had gold in that black sand, and I had no idea what it is. But I knew it was a pain in the butt, so I just started putting it in an old peanut container. And I don't know, when I flew home out of Anchorage, and here I got this black jar with a bunch of black powder in it. TSA looks at that and he goes, "Over here." Their hands were warm.
No big rings.
Right.
Oh.
But I showed them the gold that was in the bottom of it, and they did a test and everything, set me on my way. But that started it all, really. Is Ma in that peanut jar full of black sand, and I started buying equipment and realizing it was difficult to capture gold, and I just started working on a bunch of different ways of doing it. And then I was going to take a trip that summer up to Michigan, and I said, there's glaciers that came through there, and they came up right across some of the old gold fields up there in Canada. And you knew they drug some stuff in there that bulldozed it down. So I just kind of looked at the striations on the bottom of Lake Superior with Google Earth and seen what direction everything was moving, and kind of pinpointed where the gold should be, and went up there on vacation, and sure enough, I found gold on the beach up there.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, but it was even more difficult because everything was about the same size, but the black sand was round and very aerodynamic and easy for water just to zoom right on by.
Oh,
And the gold was flat like cornflakes, and about the size of a fly poop cut into 4 pieces, and so it was tiny. So I had to figure out a new way of doing things. So I had to solve a couple of problems. Number one, everything wanted to float, so I had to try to get everything underwater. So that's how the G4 separator came around. And number two, it's behind an eddy. It was having a difficult time staying put. It would dig out. So I said, well, we need to come up with some other way of doing it, like quicksand. So I found found the mat that we when the water runs across it, it just kind of stirs the water in there, and when it stirs the water, it makes like quicksand, so the gold will sink to the bottom and then to kick out whatever else is in there. So we that just kind of solved all those problems. You know, if we can get that gold buried and the water can't get to it anymore, then you get to keep your gold. So that's where the vortex mat came from, and the G-force separator and the gold cube, and the gold cube was actually designed around the qualifications of that matting, because at 12 degrees it would start plugging up, and at 18 degrees it would start flushing out. So at 15 degrees it worked great. So we designed all the layers in the gold cube as at 15 degrees, and I tried to make it what they call miner proof. So
Yeah, good luck.
yeah. Well, when this thing only sets up one way, and if you got it straight up and down, it's and using the pump without modifying too much, you're going to have some good success with the cube right out of the box. But the good news is my mat works at 15, and the bad news is when people try to put other mats or riffles or anything else in there, the 15 degrees is too much. And when you tip something too far, you start dumping your material out. So there are some mats out there that kind of work, but you got to shut them off as soon as you're done feeding them. It's like on Gold Rush, they go, hit the bypass, and everybody freaks out when things are screwing up. So it's pretty much the same way when you're using anybody else's mat in the gold cube. You just got to as soon as you stop feeding it, shut the water off. Otherwise, you'll just start ripping at your gold, and you'll start migrating your gold down until you start losing it. So yeah. So anyway, that's the start was in Chicken, Alaska. You know why they call it Chicken, Alaska?
No.
It's because the state bird of Alaska is the ptarmigan, and they could not decide amongst them all like 7 people that live there, how to spell ptarmigan.
Yeah.
So no, true story. So the ptarmigan, begins with a P, PTAR, whatever, PTAR chicken. So
Yeah.
so yeah, and I was talking to a gal there at the store, and she says, nobody has ever heard a ptarmigan go to the bathroom because the P is silent.
No.
Jason Hoover is asking, Mike, is there any effort to reopen high banking on Lake Superior?
We've had
There's
tons and tons of questions on this when we had Flower Gold Wizard up last week.
Right. I'm in communication with the state of Michigan, and we're trying to get things going. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to rewrite the entire Michigan rules, because the big problem was the rules in Michigan did not include border waters. Okay, so since they did not include border waters, the only way to mine on the beach was through a special use permit. And with that special use permit, all they have to do is say, we're not going to do it, then you can't do it. So it's not incorporated in the rules of the state of Michigan. So I'm trying to get everything rewritten and incorporated. And then if, like say a state park says, all I want to do in the state park is pans. Like if you want to do it here, you got to do pans. Well, then fine. Let the state park rule their area the way they want to do it. But other places you'll fall under the guidelines of the state rather than the caretaker of that park.
Okay.
I've got a whole pile of questions on this topic. So you've been coming to Lake Superior beaches for over a decade, pushing for this change. What's the single biggest roadblock you've hit with the Michigan DNR, and how close have you actually gotten to a yes?
Well, believe it or not, over the past 10 years, the beach has been shut down from mining about 10 times. So,
Oh, geez.
so every year I'm having to go in there and try to get the thing opened up. And right now it's just settled out at Panning. And I was on a Zoom call with them, and they were trying to tell me that it was the artifacts that was the big issue. So I came up with a whole method and procedures to be able to, know what to do when you come across an artifact, because there's a bunch of sawmills and stuff like that, old homesteads, and you're going to come up with some artifacts. And so I came up with methods and procedures. And the guy that was there, he goes, "No, we just want you to bury him back up." Okay. then the waves are just going to open them back up again, and somebody's going to go home with them. And they said, "Well, that's illegal."
Have you ever sat down face to face with DNR decision makers and ran like a live demo of your battery powered gold cube or the banjo pan setup right on the beach to prove that?
I have invited them up there every single year. I've invited them up there, and I have sat down there with the Ranger Rick before he retired, and then Jim Deslick. He's the ranger up there now, and a lot of the Jeff. I can't remember Jeff's last name right now, but anyway, those three rangers I've taken right down to the beach and shown them what we're doing and why we're doing it and all this other stuff, and they think it's cool and they like it. But the state, they've got the rules. I mean, whenever you have a bureaucracy, that's the art of making the possible impossible, and that nobody wants to say this is the way we're going to do it. So I've rewritten the rules for the state and presented them to them, and they're having a hard time getting back with me.
Oh, wow.
So,
I'm going to say there may be a need in the future for petitions and stuff like that, but I don't want them pissed off because they're inundated with a bunch of old grumpy miners. So I don't want people just calling down there. They know everybody wants to do it. They understand that, and having a bunch of people taking up their day and making an enemy out of them is not a good way to go about it. So.
No,
definitely not.
So what do they quote classify as a artifact? Is it like an old tin can or an old Mountain Dew can, or is there a guide, quote unquote, guideline of what an artifact is?
They pretty much classify the artifacts as things that were there before the park was there. So, and there was a lot of years before the park was there that the mill was already dismantled and gone. So there's a big section of time between modern occupancy and the past occupancy. But anything before the park was there they're considering that an artifact.
Okay, interesting. So you have to bury them. What kind of changes are you trying to get them to make to try to make your life easier as far as the artifacts go?
During the Zoom meeting, under the ruse of an artifact, that ended up not becoming any intelligent part of the conversation when I was on Zoom calls with them. So artifacts was an excuse or just one more thing they can throw on top of there, but it's not the issue.
Gotcha.
So you've brought a lot of new people to the UP beaches through your videos. Do you ever regret shining the spotlight when it led crowds and eventually it led to tighter rules?
Well, when I first found the gold there, I found out that there was a special use permit. They call a joint use permit that I had to go through the DNR, I had to go through the Corps of Engineers, and I had to go through the environmental agencies. And I actually got a permit to mine on the beach. I was the only one that ever got an actual permit to mine. And some of my old videos, you see me out there with a pump, gasoline engine. I got a snorkel clear out into the water to pull water in, and I'm pumping water and got a big high banker going. I mean, I got all kinds of stuff going. And that permit was supposed to be good for 5 years. And after my first year, realizing that people were seeing that and thinking that's what I can do, I quit doing it. I let the permit go, and quit causing all the trouble.
Stirring that pot.
Yeah, exactly. And I didn't want to. I didn't want to be the guy that just absolutely ruined it for everybody. So I made the decision at that point to be the guy up front, helping people come in there and do what I enjoy as well.
So
If
for
you
me,
could design the perfect pilot program with a rule set for mechanical prospecting on those beaches tomorrow, what would the rules be? Pump size, hours, zones, etc.
Well, everything's going to be like, let's see, do I have a Michigan rules thing up here someplace? Maybe, maybe not. Well, basically, when I set the rules up, I set them up for no more than 3,000 gallons per hour pump, and nothing in excess of a 12-volt pump. The tub size, if I had two big 30-gallon totes full of water, then that's a lot more water than I want to carry. So I said 30 gallons. They already had rules for square inches of a sluice box for inland mining, so I just copied those rules. I wanted to meld as much as I could with what was going on there, and almost everything that people were having to drag down the hills and steps way back in the day. They didn't want to carry anything bigger than that anyway, so it was good enough. So we got the sluice box. We got a couple of their, like when I got my permit, the Corps of Engineers was really tight about beach erosion, and so they had, anytime you encounter a root, you had to repack the root and then back away from it. So it doesn't matter how good the gold was. If you encountered a root, you had to repack it and put it back to, and back away from it. The other thing that I did was you could not be in the main path of the normal tourism as far as beach bathers and rock pickers. But the gold's not down over there anyway. It's up the hill a little bit, up the beach, up the bank a little ways, and where the waves have come in and pulled, it left all your black sands up high out of the way anyway. So that didn't matter. You couldn't run a hose from the water to where you were working because I didn't want any trip hazards. So just a few buckets of water and away you go. So that worked out pretty good. As far as digging holes and leaving mounds of black sand everywhere, I made it to where the sand that a child would make his sandcastle and leave a pile of sand someplace, or dig a little bit of a hole that wasn't much. I mean, I said no hole bigger than a foot and no sand pile higher than a foot. So you didn't have to go in there and landscape the whole thing. You just went in there and just kind of knocked your piles down and made sure that nobody's going to trip on anything. It was pretty funny. A buddy of mine, his name was Kurt George. He was working away, and he was making his big black sand pile behind him, and a little girl comes up and he says, "What are you doing?" He says, "I'm making sandcastles." she goes, "You're not very good at it."
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Uh,
but
Summer Outdoors Mike is asking, what were the rules for inland sluice mining?
there's a lot of them. Now, the biggest concern with inland rules at mining, you can go on the state of Michigan website and get all them rules. But the biggest thing that they are trying to protect is, the trout and salmon migration streams and mussel beds. Okay, so that's their two biggest things that they're trying to protect. So if you encounter a mussel bed, you just quit digging and leave them alone. They've got streams that are they're they're indicated or they're annotated as a trout stream. So in there, you can't dig or whatever, but all the rules are there. I don't know, since I haven't done any inland mining in Michigan. I don't know if you can use a pump and or a trash pump with gas engine. I don't know. I don't know about that. I could look it up for you, but um, there's a lot of people that go to like gravel pits, and that's private property, so they run pumps and dredge and all kinds of stuff on private property. But on state lands, I don't think you can run pumps on state land.
I don't think so either.
David
Speaking
A
of the
says that
private-
he used the banjo pan in Cuba, but they were going to arrest him if he did. Have you ever heard of the banjo pan not being allowed in certain states or countries?
Huh.
The only thing I can think of is, I don't know about other countries, but there are countries out there that all the minerals belong to the country, and if you're taking minerals, you're stealing from the country, and that's a crime. So the fact that he had a pan, it was a banjo pan, or if it was a Garrett super sluice or whatever, the fact that he had mining equipment is what got him in trouble. It sounds like.
You were talking about the private landowners with inland mining. Are there any private landowners along Lake Superior that you've already convinced to let people run mechanical equipment on their shoreline, or are there any secret spots that the public doesn't know about?
Yeah, the best place to find gold is and that's I found is
That spot. I heard about that one.
anybody who tells you their best spot, they're liars. No, most of the lakeshore on Lake Superior is state land. There's only just a couple of small sections of private. When I was doing my research, going after the permit, I had walked the shore. I had found I found where the best occurrence of the black sand and gold was, and I stated my claim in that area. So. And then the following year, the waves came in and tore it all up, and then there wasn't any gold left there.
No, jeez.
So 10 years from now, do you think we'll be legally running small sluices and gold cubes on public beaches in Superior, or is the door pretty much closed for good?
I don't think the door's closed. I think we may have maybe even next year. I'm not sure. I just got to get them to listen to reason, and if it's not next year, it'll be the year after, because it'll take a little bit to get some amendments or whatever written into the books. So
Nice.
Well, what is one thing that the average prospector like myself could do right now? A phone call, a letter, or whatever that would actually move the needle with the lawmakers or the DNR? Is there anything we can
if
do?
we get a bunch of people calling them right now, it's just going to piss them off.
All right.
Let the guys who know what they're talking about.
You get a lot more of what you want. Butter them up, treat them good. They typically respond to that a little better.
Yeah, there's as many times as you've been asked the same questions 100 times and had to say the same thing to people. It's annoying as hell. And when everybody's calling to find out the questions about the state and what the plans are, and hey, I thought this was a right. Well, it's not a right. It's state land, not federal. So they were voted in as the the stewards of the land, and they're supposed to control it. So we voted that in. So it's best just to leave things to the course, and I'll do what I can to push that course as kindly and sternly as I can.
Well, if the DNR finally says yes to mechanical beaches tomorrow and throws a ceremony, what song do you want playing when you fire up the first legal gold cube on Lake Superior sand?
Oh gosh, here's my teapot. Here's my spout.
There's the gold. Watch me dig it out.
Yeah,
There you
right.
go. I'm a little gold cube, short and stout.
There you go.
I thought it'd be dueling banjos, maybe.
Yeah.
There you go.
Dueling banjo pans.
Banjos.
That's right.
There you go.
Yeah, battle faster. I hear banjo pans.
Yeah. Okay, on that note, what was your inspiration for the banjo pan?
I'm a cheap bastard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, really. No, the mats that came in for the gold cube were coming in. They used to be straight, and then they were starting to come in crooked. And I couldn't just cut across there and get 6 pieces out of one mat. I had to cut individuals because it was making a like a smiley face, and I had to start over and cut little triangles out every time I'd go to the next mat. And so I ended up wasting 20% of my mat. And I was like, I got to be able to do something with this chunk of mat on the end here. And I said, hey, how about if I just make a sluice box, little pocket sluice box? So we've gotten some pretty good attention with the Vortex mat. Let's just make a pocket sluice box that you can just bring along with you. And my partner Red, he says, well, what happens if there's no water flow? And I said, I don't know, put handles on it. We'll just run up and down the river with it. And I said, I don't know, let's put a scoop on the end. We'll just with a scoop on the end, we'll be able to scoop water and just let it run out. And that's pretty much what started it. Just trying to use up 20% of our mat that's being thrown away. And then all of a sudden, after 8 different versions, we came up with the banjo pan the way it is. In fact, the mat, like we glue the mat in the gold cube, and we were going to glue the mat into the banjo pan as well. And it's kind of a pain in the butt to, when you're panning to get the stuff out of the mat. I mean, if you're just cleaning it out into a bucket, it's easy. But to get it out of the mat into the pan so you can pan it, that was almost impossible. So I said, we need to be able to remove the mat. And my partner Red, I told him, I said, we need to remove the mat. We need to make a little drop area there for a nugget zone. We need to have a drop bottom on the pan. And he's like, no, let's just go with what we've got in there. So I told him, okay. And then I changed everything on the way down to the injection motor guy.
Oh, by the way.
Yeah.
So we could talk about the gold cube too. What problem were traditional sluice boxes not solving effectively when you first conceptualized the gold cube? And how did you arrive at its unique gravity-based separation design?
Well, the G4 separator, the problem that was solving was floating gold. And you see with traditional sluices and with like dredges, they've got like a mud flap that they're trying to knock the gold back off the surface and knock it down into the water. Basically, changing the gold from a boat to an anchor. We wanted to get it underwater where the weight would work. And the only way that I figured that we could do that, the idea hit me in the back of the head one time when I was fixing the sink, was a P-trap.
Oh, bonk. Oh.
Yeah, it's kind of like Newton's apple and gravity or something. But yeah, it was. That's pretty much what did it. Like a P-trap is designed to keep a water level in there to where swamp gas can't come back up into the kitchen. And I said, well, if everything has to go underwater to go through, that's exactly what I want, is to be able to get all the gold underwater. So the P-trap was designed under two different premises. First, the smoothness of the P-trap was one thing that I really wanted. And then I also read a thesis. There's a guy named Trevor in New Zealand that wrote a thesis on the New Zealand boil box, and his boil box had a square trough with a gate in it, and it was designed to boil. It was designed to, on those little corners in there, it would go nuts in there. So that was what it was designed to do. Well, I didn't want a boiling action. I wanted to align things and make it to where, like as it comes out of the G4 separator, it's pretty much going straight up. The heaviest stuff is going to be at the bottom of this column, and so everything at the bottom of the column is like gold, and then you start going up, and you start getting, your mercury and your lead and your silver and copper and your black sands and your blonde sands, and all of that stuff is collapsing beyond where you're catching the gold. The gold just goes up and just right over onto the mat and ready to go. So it was a question of really making sure I had a clean column in order to have my wasted material, let it not even compete for the same location in the mat as the gold was trying to get set and buried in. So the G4 separator, with the seeing how the boil box worked, and then seeing the advantage of a smooth, radial axis that you're able to come around smooth and keep things lined up, like in a P-trap. Both of those together put the G4 separator into life.
Yep.
Awesome.
Nice.
That's pretty cool. So
I don't have to be smart. I just got to pay attention.
Yeah. So what came first, the mat or the cube?
The mat.
The mat.
Yeah, I was at a lumber store. It's called Lumber 2. It's kind of like seconds and pickouts and stuff like that. Like I said, I'm a cheap bastard. So
Sounds like my kind of store.
So are we.
right. But I was in there, and it's also a horse tack and feed store. So it's a good old country store. And a horse trailer had the tailgate down, and he was loading some stuff up in there. And on the surface of the tailgate was this vortex mat. And so I'm down there picking at this, looking at it, and just because, us miners, we see something that looks like it might catch gold, and we're gonna stop what we're doing and check it out. So I was down there picking at it, and he goes, "Can I help you?" And I says, "I'm a gold prospector." And he says, "You're not gonna find the kind of nuggets you want in there." So I asked him where he got the mat from, and it was just right inside the building there. So I picked some up, and my partner Red in Colorado, I sent him some, and I sent then I started playing with that mat, and this was probably 2 years before the gold cube was even thought about. And so I set it at 1 foot 1 inch drop, and it just clogged up, and I put it at 2 inches to every foot, and it was like, wow, this is just nobody runs anything like that. And it was clogging up. And then since I was pretty high tech at that point, I had my sluice box that I'd been up, and I had it set on the first step of a wooden ladder, and I had a brick balanced on the top of the side of a black tub, and that's that's how I was creating my angle. Well, I accidentally kicked the tub, and the brick fell off. And when the brick fell off, I'm at 3 inches per foot now, and now it's 15 degrees. And all of a sudden, instead of being clogged up, it started vortexing. And I was like, "Oh my God, look at that!" So I called Red, and instead of Red and I saying, just get a hold of some of that rough top incline conveyor belt. So instead of just saying rough top incline conveyor belt, we said that vortex mat, because it would start vortexing. So that's how it got its name, because we didn't want to say the whole name of the conveyor belt.
Yeah.
But it was an accident to find that. And then once we got the vortex mat figured out, then along came the gold cube, and we were trying other normal stuff, like carpet and drop riffles, and we were trying all kinds of stuff in there. And I said, well, I'm going to try the vortex mat. So there's a video out there that I got the one that we actually figured out the angles and everything. It looks like an erector set. It's got those angle irons, just got the holes all the way up them. And so I was dropping pins through it and changing the angles and all kinds of stuff. And I was like, it's like, oh, cool, it works. Like, oh, crap, it works.
Good problem.
But but the vortex mat came first. That came around first, and then because of the ability of the vortex mat, that we pretty much engineered the cube around the vortex mat capability. So line up the gold, put it where you want it on purpose, bury it in the mat so you can't wash away, and you end up coming home with a lot more gold. I mean, what could be wrong with that?
Hey,
Sounds awesome to me. Sounds much more efficient than my trommel.
Yeah, but if you've got big gold and a lot of big rocks, and you've got a lot of dirt to throw, you can't really do that with a gold cube. You can use a trommel that's on the gold cube, and it'll bring it down to 1/8 of an inch. But if you've got bigger gold, we designed a nugget zone that captures all your big stuff coming off the trommel or the gold banker. But the gold cube is designed for 1/8 of an inch and smaller, and that's 98% of your gold's that size anyway. So just keep track of your tailings, or use them. I tell people when you're classifying out there, scoop and scan with a metal detector. Just plastic scoop over your coil. No beepy, no keepy. A metal detector is always going to be lighter than a bucket of rocks.
Yeah.
True story. All right. Well, I'm going to jump off. I've been burning the candle on both ends. Mike, I want to say thanks real quick, and everybody have a good night. I'll keep up.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, have a good night.
You guys.
He's doing the Mr. Mom thing, and
Well, that's cool.
Trying.
I saw a video that said, when fathers teach their kids, boys and girls, teach them how to do things like change tires, how to cut a limb off a tree, how to mow the yard. It's basically training them not to be morons.
Right.
Story. All right, guys. Have a good night.
later. Talk to you soon, Nick.
Yeah, we'll see you.
So many prospectors debate whether the gold cube or a trommel/high banker is better. From your perspective, what are the ideal use cases for the gold cube versus other equipment?
Well, let me talk about the two accessories we have for the gold cube. We've got a gold banker, which is a screen deck. Okay, so that screen deck or punch plate is what's on there, compared to a trommel. Now, a trommel is pretty simple. It's a rotating screen, basically, a rotating punch plate that it gets everything washed. That's all we do. We clean rocks. That's what miners do. So it gets the rocks washed, and everything that's small goes down and gets processed through the gold cube. And the gold banker does pretty much the same thing, only the person has to supply the movement. Good news, bad news. It means that you can't just shovel into it and walk and go get another shovel. But what it does do for you is it gives you the ability to look at your material, especially if you're prospecting and you're doing like 4 bucket tests to see how the area is going, and you're planning on setting up a bigger mine of some sort. So 4 buckets is 1/10 of a yard, so you can do the easy math from that point. But if you're looking at all the rocks and stuff in there, you can see the host rocks, you can see the sulfides, you can see everything about that ore body while you're doing your test to analyze and make some decisions on the mine. When you're in a river someplace and you've got oh man, you got some clay that's so sticky thick that you can make pottery with it. You put that through a high banker or a trommel, and it just rolls it up into little gold turds, and away they go. You ends up stealing your gold. So the gold banker itself, I call it gizzard gold. What that gizzard gold is you put an entire the surface of the gold banker. You just put rocks on it, a bunch of gravel up there. You throw your clay on top of that those rocks, and as you move that stuff around, cleaning the rocks off, that clay is going to get chewed up by the rocks on there. So if the clay is getting chewed up, and as soon as it's ready to process, it's going down through the cube. If
Yeah.
you use a cement mixer or a paint stirrer or whatever in a bucket, by the time you get down to the bottom of the bucket, everything's coagulated back together again. You got to break it up again. So by using the gold banker in real heavy clay areas, the it's going to make it to where when your clay is loose and it's letting go of the gold, you're grabbing a hold of it and keeping it. So it's extremely good for a clay material. And I don't know of any other piece of machinery out there that's able to do that. But the key is the gravel bed, just like the rocks in a crop of a chicken, the gizzard. That's
Mhm.
exactly what it's doing. It's grinding them all up. That's what it does. That's why I call it gizzard gold. But the other equipment, um, if you're out someplace and you're going in light, you don't want to take any prime mover like a battery operated pump or gas operated pump. You don't want to bring anything like that because you're traveling light and climbing hills and everything. Just a regular old sluice box, a small sluice box for testing, is going to be the way to go. Or you can run the banjo pan, which is kind of like a small sluice. You can run that in what I call production mode. Yep. You can put a shovel in there. You can bring it down to where all your concentrates are in the neck. And as soon as you know you're in the gold, you just throw the concentrates in a bucket. You can take the bucket of concentrates back with you and buy your equipment and get all your gold out of it there. Meanwhile, the short time that you're going to have back in the area that you found yourself and found some good gold back in there, you're going to be able to maximize the amount of production you've got in there while you're there. So the equipment is based on how ridiculous you want to get, or if you're just out there just having a good time. So just a pan is a good time, and it's going to create the answer to two questions. Number one, is there any gold? Number two, is it any better than the last place I checked? That's called prospecting. But the panning is going to be, that saying, all mining starts with a pan and ends with a pan.
Yep.
But out there, if you're in a desert, you're not gonna bring a whole lot of water unless there's got to be a really darn good reason to do that. Just go out there and use your dry washer, and because it's gonna lighten your load. You're not gonna have to worry about running out of water and having to go find some more or whatever. I mean, use what is applicable to the mining situation that you're at, and that's pretty much going to choose the equipment. No piece of equipment is going to be the best thing in every situation, and that's including the gold cube. That's just life. So you gotta analyze your situation and use the right piece of equipment for the day.
I'll tell you right now, the most humbling experience I had this summer was hanging out with Mike down at the river, watching him use this thing. This banjo, he like threw a shovel in. Well, I threw the shovel pan in there, and then he just schooled me on how to pan, basically. Like I learned so much from Mike. Like, man, that was the best afternoon I had down on the creek in a long time was with you and your wife. So,
Well, that was
um,
good. We had a great day. Pam brings it up once in a while, so she really enjoyed herself too. So
Right.
I appreciate you meeting up with us and hosting us out there. That was awesome of you guys.
yeah, no, that's why we're excited to come down south. Um, has there been any learning curves looking back, and has there been any innovations for Gold Cube in the last, I don't know, 5 years?
Oh, the last 5 years. I guess it's been about 5 years since we put the Nugget Zone on there. I'm working on a bucket size gold cube, and I had it all designed and on my laptop because I was working on it while I was on the road. And some idiot stole my trailer, everything in it, my metal detector batteries, everything. Stole my
No,
whole
no.
camper right out of my front yard.
Wow.
And so all that work on that computer with the with that and a couple other things, I'm making also a commercial size black sand separator. I had all those drawings and everything on there. It just made me sick. I couldn't believe it. If there's ever a chance to shoot somebody, that would have been the day I would have pulled the trigger.
Yeah.
Well-
Yeah. Wow.
Well, on that note, I was going to say, have you ever thought of like scaling the gold cube down to, let's say 6 inch by 6 inch, for
Exactly.
a little backpack and a little, you know what I mean?
Yeah, in fact, the way I had it designed, there was two designs I had made. One was the 6x6. The mat in there is going to be 4 inches long, six inches wide. You had it, you nailed it. Because that's about what it'll sit down in the bottom of a 5-gallon bucket, and that's what I designed it, and it's going to be as high as a 5-gallon bucket. That was one of them. The second one was a collapsible gold cube that fits inside the bucket. But I couldn't get enough collapse to make it worth the hassle of making it. I could probably drop about 3 inches of height off of it, and that's just not enough. So I scrapped that idea and just went right back with the I'm calling it the bucket cube or the gold cube mini or whatever. Hell, who knows?
Okay.
But also in the cube, I got it designed to where the mats will slide in and out.
Well, do you want to give us an exclusive release date or about release?
Well, until everything got stolen, I was hoping for Christmas, but it didn't happen. It's not going to happen. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to get it all put back together and get the prototype made. And I just realized something. I was supposed to meet a guy today at 1:00. Why did I just remember that?
No. Oops.
Whoops!
Jesus.
Oh man! Oh man! But
Missed it by that much.
Missed it by that much. 99. Let's go see the Chiefs. So I'm going to be going down to the plastics place, and we're going to sit down and I'll talk him through exactly what I was planning on. And he's got this huge, powerful computer that runs everything in 3D and just throw things together amazingly quickly. So I think with a little bit of sketching on toilet paper and
Redneck stationery.
I'm saying.
Exactly. That's where the best ideas come from. I swear to God.
Cocktail napkins.
Hey, totally. If you're in the echo box in there, it's nobody's gonna mess with you. You got time on your hands.
Exactly.
I'm designing. That's what I call it.
Yeah, designing is like, no, I'm putting my legs to sleep. That's what's happening.
So how do you balance promoting the gold cube as a product with being honest about its limitations and ideal use cases?
Well, I mean, honesty is always going to be the best policy. I mean, there's things like I told you. Sometimes no one piece of equipment can be the answer to everything. No one surface, no one company. I mean, that's why there's multiple companies in this industry, because there's different situations that you need something different to solve it. I've got another company that I own. It's called Gyro Gold, and the Gyro Gold is it's a 7-foot centrifugal bowl that runs it runs 50 yards an hour, and so it's commercial. I've got a 4-foot bull that I'm actually going to be taking to Nevada in 16th. I'm leaving, so that's less than a week. Well, that's almost a week, a little more than a week.
Yeah.
Well, anyway,
Yeah.
I just try not to make it 1 o'clock because I'll forget it.
Is that when the big equipment trade show's on?
No, this is going on a mine. We're going to be testing it on their ore, and
Okay.
if it works out right, then they're going to be buying multiple bulls. So that's going to make for a very good 2026.
Yeah.
So would that be a wet?
Yes.
A wet? Oh, okay. I was thinking maybe, you could thinking dry and maybe blowing air in. I don't know. I would just.
No. This is
why
a
I was
wet
asking. Is it going to
slurry.
be wet?
Yeah. It's actually a wet slurry. There's you'll be running between 150 and 200 gallons a minute, and bringing a slurry in. And I set one up in Alaska this year. Oh, geez, what a fun time that was. We got in there. They were supposed to have been there 3 weeks before I got there, and ended up I was on the first trip in. So we had some equipment that was staged 3 miles away from the mine site that it was dropped off in March, where they brought it in across the snow. I mean, we had river crossings, we had bears, we had, oh my God, it was an adventure. In 8 days, I completely modified their existing plant to accept the bowl, and we were getting gold before the end of May. So they were just thrilled. But I tell you what, these old bones. It's like I was faking like everything was fine, but about 20 minutes after I'd get to my room, which was a van. I was sleeping in a van. 20 minutes before after I got to the van, I'd have to open the door back up and let my butt in. It was dragging a little bit behind me.
Yeah. And then the bottle ibuprofen came out, and
Oh yeah. I grabbed the bottle of ibuprofen one time, and I woke up with it in my hand. I didn't even take any.
Too tired to take ibuprofen. Wow.
Oh man, I was wore down. But it was satisfying though. Get that up and running.
I think I got a lag. If someone is new to prospecting, would you recommend starting with the gold cube or the banjo pan, or maybe wait till your mini gold cube comes out? What would your recommendation be, and why?
My recommendation is don't buy anything.
Yeah.
Right.
That's how I started out.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. Don't buy anything because you don't know what you're going to buy, and all you're going to do is buy the biggest hype out there, which might not match the way you want to work. All right.
Buy a pan.
Absolute best thing to do is buy yourself a round pan and learn why gold does what it does. Understand the gold by panning. As soon as you understand the gold by panning, and then you find a place that's got some gold, then you'll know what piece of equipment to get. And the most other important thing besides learning how to pan is join a bunch of people that you can meet up with. And whether it's a GPAA club, if it's a local chapter, a local club for whatever area you're in, or maybe it's a bunch of rock hounds that also gold prospect. I mean, get with like-minded people, pick their brains, use their equipment, try it before you buy it, and then make your decision at that point which piece of equipment you're going to buy. And then if you got a half a brain cell, it'll be a gold cube.
Great advice for sure. I think if Travis or Reg, we're at the hour mark, so let's take a quick break. We've got an ad to play for next week's guest, and then when we come back, I have some questions to ask you off topic about something that you did this week that you probably don't know I know about. And we're going to help out another guy in the chat here. So,
okay.
Can one of you guys go ahead and play that whenever, and I'll stop talking as soon as that starts.
rising
Everybody, quick, take a break. Go to the bathroom.
from the treasures deep in the soil's hand. A family of brothers hand in hand. This is our home. This is our land. The river sang as we toiled away. Their whispers kept the fears at bay. Fields of gold from the seeds we sowed, a testament to the lives we owe. Though the wind may howl, the earth may quake, but roots run deep with every stake.
And then I went like this.
There you
Welcome back, everybody. That minute sure goes by
Right.
fast, especially when you have to run down the stairs. We'll give those other guys a chance to come back. So
I'm still
I
here.
have been talking. I've been talking with a guy in chat for a week or two now. He's been popping up on my channel and on our Red Dirt Nation channel. Been getting to know him on Facebook too here this week. And he's an inventor himself of sorts, I guess. And he has come up with a surfactant that is non-toxic and doesn't make bubbles. And
Yeah.
for you guys that don't understand surfactant, we're talking about jet dry. And me personally, I know like when I go to Nugget Lake, when you get down to that itty bitty little left, the water at Nugget Lake really likes to float gold. And you can't use jet dry at the creek because it's toxic. So, and Dawn dish soap makes bubbles, right? So you were talking with the Modern Michigan Prospector this week, and he
Yes.
has a
Yep.
new product called oh boy, I got to get back in so I don't butcher the name here. Modern Michigan Prospector is in chat right now, and he has a product called the Modern Michigan Prospector's Creek Drop, and it is a non-toxic, low suds or no sud surfactant. And it's my understanding that you and him were live and you tested it out. So tell us your thoughts on it.
Okay, so the way that I did the test is I ran some pure clean water from my well into a pan, and then I had some floor sweepings that were loaded with gold.
go.
I guess I'm just sloppy. But
You guys make me
you know,
sick.
when you get that real fine, powdery, dusty stuff off the floor, you can't hardly get that to break up and get wet.
Oh yeah, you
Right?
just float.
So I just dumped it right in the pan, and I was showing them as I was doing it, and showed them how the sand went to the bottom and collected an air bubble in the sand. So it was like a clump, a bubbled up, rounded clump down there at the bottom. So I said, okay, now we're going to put some of that creek drop in there. And so we spread that in there and shook it up. And sure enough, it busted up all those little nodules of air pockets with dirt around it and got everything wet. And so then I did the same thing with jet dry. So I just cleaned the pan out, put clean water in it, grabbed another little handful of that stuff, and did exactly the same thing. It made all those little bubble nodules in there, and then when I put the jet dry in there, it busted them up. So his creek drop works just as good as the jet dry. Okay, so the fact that it's able to do that was amazing. So the next thing I did was I took water, good clean water, put a squirt of jet dry in there, and just took my hands and just made bubbles. And it sure made bubbles. So then I took I cleaned it all back out again and put the clean water in there and put some of his creek drop in there, and just all the way around, and in 2 seconds, any bubbles that had formed was gone. So it doesn't make suds. it'll make bubbles. You can make bubbles in clean water if you want to, but just a couple seconds and all the bubbles were gone. So you don't
Nice.
have to worry about, like, if you're running a recirculating um, cube or a blue bowl or anything you're recirculating, you don't have to worry about all of a sudden looking like you're getting ready for a bubble bath.
Oh yeah, we've all had that, that tub that just overflowing with with bubbles.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. But yeah, I was impressed. It did every bit as good as the jet dry. For breaking the surface tension and getting everything to where it can get wet, and the fact that it just kicked jet dry's butt with non-bubbling ability. So that was good.
Oh, there
Well,
was a
I put a
question
link.
earlier in. Oh, go ahead, Carl.
Hold on, Stacy. Hold on. I put a link in the chat. Maybe, Reg, you can fix that for me. www.goldputts.com. I don't know why it didn't hyperlink. And it's my understanding that it's going to be ready on December 10th, which is Wednesday. I don't know if it's actually live on the website right now. Michigan Prospector is in there, highlighted on your screen right now. You can follow him on YouTube and ask him any questions you want. He can answer way more than me or Mike can, probably. And thank you, Reg, for fixing that link, or whoever did that. But yes, thanks so much, Mike. Like I said, it sounds interesting. I absolutely am going to order a bottle as soon as I can. As soon as the site is up and running. And it was awesome to hear that he says, yeah, I was just on a live chat with Mike. And I was like, oh, yeah, really? I says, well, if it's that good, we're going to find out, and I'm going to tell everybody in our story about it. So,
Oh yeah,
Right. Well, I'll be honest. I mean, that's just if I'm dishonest about something like that, and they go forward thinking that it actually works and it doesn't, they're going to get embarrassed. I'd rather, if they need a spank, I'd rather spank them and and get them to the point where it's something they can be proud of instead of being embarrassed by later. So he says he's tweaked the formula a little bit, and he says the surfactant ability is actually a little bit better, but the suds were already perfect. So if he's made some improvements, then it could only get better. So
nice.
well, awesome. I thank you so much for that. And like I said, a little off topic, but it was the perfect time to get your feedback on that. And again, just sharing the love, supporting everybody in the community. So
we're a small community, and I do everything I can to help out as many people as I can, because I know when I first got started in here, it was hard to get information off of people, and everybody had a secret way of doing things. And like when I made the Gold Cube, I didn't want to keep it a secret. And when I go to the gold shows all around the country, I do seminars and I teach, and I try to inspire or problem solve with as many people as I possibly can, because it just makes the industry that much better. It makes it a hell of a lot more fun too.
Oh yeah, it makes it great. You help them. My favorite thing was helping the new guy, who shows up with a new pan and maybe an eBay sluice box, and it's like you can see them show up at the club meeting and they're kind of scared, and it's like, hey, come on over here, let's set your stuff up, and hey, we're gonna have to season your pan for a weekend, it's a little too shiny, and that's always awesome, just to throw this sluice in and help him set it up, how to show them. I love that. That's one of my favorite things. It's almost as good as digging and finding that big one,
Yeah.
And
getting them hooked.
Supporting our community. Mary is letting us all know that Gentleman Prospector is doing a fundraiser for someone in the gold community who had a stroke on Thanksgiving. So we will get a hold of Gentleman Prospector. And I don't know, Mike, if you want to help us with something for this fundraiser they're doing, but we can talk back.
Yeah, we can talk.
Yeah. yeah, so that's what we do with the gold community. We try to help each other out when people are down. Yeah, so
We network good.
we do.
And I know
Yep.
a Michigan prospector is healing from rotator cuff surgery earlier uh, this week or last week, and he's in rough shape right now. But I'm wishing him a speedy recovery, and hopefully we can get some surfactant sold for him, and that'll help him out that way as well. So
Oh yeah.
I might have to send him some dirt.
there you go.
There.
There you go.
He
Off
did
your
say that
off your floor or what? Jeez, I want
Yeah.
Now I've
there
got
was somebody in the chat that already laid claim to your floor sweepings next time.
Yeah.
Right.
Somebody's already put a claim on your house.
yeah. I've got 38,000 pounds of black sand that I bought from a mine in Arizona. And
Oh.
when I'm working on getting pulling the black sand out of that, because I sell black sand, and I also sell well, I'm not selling the pay dirt, but when I take the pay dirt and pull the gold out of it, and I throw the dirt away. But I gotta pay for I gotta pay for 38,000 pounds. I gotta break even here first. But yeah. Oh, let's see. I got a little bottle here someplace. There it is. Um, See this cute little bottle?
Yep.
What I'm planning on doing is when I go to the shows,
Uh-oh.
I'm going to put a full gram with dirt inside a little bottle like that.
Oh.
And so it's like one big. It's like you dump the whole thing in, and you've got it all in your pan, and it's just going to be like starry night. There's going to be gold everywhere.
Oh my god.
And then get the gold out of it. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, and a lot of that gold that's in there, this is going to be the gift that keeps on giving, because a lot of that gold that's in there is 200 and 400 mesh gold, but it's
Oh, ouch.
but it's a full gram. So I didn't want you having to search through a lot of material to get that out of there. But this would be a great great thing for me to carry around to the shows, because everybody's always asking, "Do you have any pay dirt for sale? How about a ship in a bottle? How about a gram in a bottle?"
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's one of the things I'm going to do. And then this isn't going to add a couple of tons to my truck.
You can have a couple of those in your pocket.
Yeah.
Besides selling a little bottle at a time, what is the value in the black sands? I think I kind of know, but I see a lot of people selling black sand. What's it used for?
Quite a few things. I've got one of my customers that they use it for. They got a 50,000 pound press, and they press it into cores for electromagnets. Okay, so that's one thing that they've done with it. Got another guy that he makes a static plasma discharge in a plastic ball as a gift type thing, and the 400 mesh minus black sand really sticks to the side, and it gives a target for the plasma arcs. So that's another thing that guy does. I've got one guy that you've heard of the concept of grounding, where like they tell you to walk around outside on your bare feet, or they have grounding blankets so you can ground your body while you're sleeping, and it's supposed to be for healing and holistic. I call that hippie shit. But I love a hippie, so that's good. So what they've done is they pour about a 4-inch slab of concrete in a box. They put you in like a rubber suit, and they lower you down inside that concrete, and it makes a form of your body. And then when it starts getting warm, they just pull you back up out of there with engine hoist or something, and then they let it finish curing, and then they ground that concrete, and then they So like you take it home and you lay down in it with either a wet T-shirt or naked or whatever. I don't know. Don't do a TikTok on it for me. Just thank you, please.
Yeah, I don't want to see that.
Yeah. We got one guy that does that. I've got there's a thing called a meow pot. It's called magnetically energized auric water. That's what meow stands for, and that's supposed to help you heal. That's supposed to. One guy is saying that when he was drinking this stuff, he was drinking 3 cups a day of this energized water, and his hair went from gray back to black. Well, I don't want a black beard, so. So I mean, there's things, there's holistic things, or hippie things. So these meow pots and magnetic classes for teachers, and teaching about magnetism, and some people want to see if they can get more gold out of it or whatever. Well, I guarantee that the black sands that I pull out, they're pulled 4 times with the spin it off black sand magnetic separator, the one that goes on a drill.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I pull the black sands out 4 times, and then I bag it. And when I've panned that stuff out, I'll go through about 3 cups before I actually find a piece of gold. So I mean, it's pretty much devoid of any gold. But not to say that there isn't any in there, but I'm selling that stuff for $1 a pound.
So
Yeah,
is it-
I don't
is it
care
all
how many
magnetic
times.
black? Oh,
Oh, go ahead, Carl. Sorry.
Well, I was just going to ask, it's all magnetic black sand then?
It is all magnetite. Everything in my black sand product has been pulled to the magnet. It's not just leftover. It's not just leftover. It's magnetically pulled. If it doesn't pick up with a magnet, it's not there. The hematite doesn't stick around long enough, so the hematite isn't with it. So if there's anything else that's iron in there, then if someone was filing on a door lock or something, those got in there, then they're magnetic. They're in there. Yeah. So it's magnetically pulled, and that's what's in my black sand bags.
Yeah, I got 15 pounds of Cape Disappointment sand sent to me.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, that stuff's wonderfulness.
Yeah, I've gotten beach sand from Nome, Kenai Peninsula, Cape Disappointment, Gold Beach, Oregon. Can't remember that little beach name down there in California. Can't remember, but then Lake Superior, and most of the black sands that you'll find on the beaches are round, and that's what makes them such a pain in the butt.
Oh my God!
Because they're rolled aerodynamic, heavy things and all the gold has been hammered so hard from the crashing waves that they're flat. Yep. And it makes them easy to kite. So
and they just do the flutter thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's like trying to give a cat a bath. It spreads out and grabs a hold of everything.
So you just put them in the toilet with soap in the toilet, close the lid. It's self.
Yeah, flush 3 times.
Yeah. And hope the cat's still there.
The toilet comes out clean. Mike, you're in Oklahoma, correct? Mary's asking.
That's correct. Yes, Oklahoma. Yep.
There was a. So, Mike, what is the most memorable gold find story you have had, either yourself or shared with you, through the Gold Cube?
There was a young couple that met me at a gold show one time, and this was back in 2013. And they came up and they were wanting a gold cube really bad. And they said they had found a place that had so much fine gold that they just couldn't get with anything else. and they're about ready to lose their house and their vehicles and everything. They had just been they lost. They're just getting ready to. Everything was going to be gone. And I gave them a gold cube. The next year they came back and they said, "You saved the house. You saved. We've got our cars are paid for. The daughters got braces now. They were able to get that value out of those piles with the gold cube and put their life back in order."
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
So that was probably the most heart wrenching heart. That one hits the heart real good. The other cool one, I was working in Greensboro, North Carolina, in a little creek in there, and it's when I come up with the term gizzard gold. Okay, that's when I came up with it. I got into some clay and I put some rocks on there, and I was going all through that, and in the middle of the clay there was a spear point. So I was like, "Oh, this is kind of cool. Look, an arrowhead." It was a spear point, but I said, "Hey, look, an arrowhead," because I'm real smart about that stuff. And so I had the show in Charlotte that following weekend, and we were down there, and I was talking about the gizzard gold and talking about the gold banker, and I would just kind of like tossing that arrowhead out on the screen, and the guy in the back just was white. He came in, he says, "Stop!" I said, "What's the matter?" He goes, and he picked up that arrowhead. He said, "This is a spear point," and he told me this period of time is like between 9,000 and 13,000 years old. He says, "I'm a curator at a museum," and he says, "If you'd have brought this in to me, you'd have left with a receipt. You wouldn't be going back home with it." And I was like, "Oh my God, you got to be kidding me!" So, he didn't take it from me because he wasn't at work, but I put it away because it was supposed to have been. I've had it priced at a few $1,000s. So, but that was that was in that clay, way down deep, and I wouldn't have gotten to it if I hadn't been playing around with the clay. So that was one of the coolest finds that we had found using the gold cube and the gold banker. But let's see. I think probably the most fun that I've ever had with the gold cube is actually on the beaches of Lake Superior, because everybody comes by and wants to know what you're doing. And everybody, especially the kids, they'll come up and they say, "What are you doing?" I said, "There's gold in the black sand that you're standing on." It's like, "Really?" So they pick it up and they put it in there and says, "Can I see it?" So I'll open up the screen and there's little gold you can see in the little drop ripples in there, and it just really makes a big difference. And then there are so many times that I've had notes on my camper when I got back with thanking me for the time I spent with their kids. And when they were asked what their favorite part of the vacation was, they were saying the gold mining down on the beach. And they'd gone and seen Mount Rushmore and all kinds of crap,
Oh, wow.
And I was like, "Whoa, that's amazing."
That's
But just being able to influence. This is before before influencers. To be able to influence the thoughts of a child or their parents, either one, in the fact that you could be or do anything, and you can be that hope for the future. I think that's an amazing thing, and that happens so many times up on the lake of Lake Superior. It became that park there became a favorite destination because of us old farts out there playing in the sand.
Making really bad sandcastles.
Yeah, you're not very good at it.
Nick Prospecting 406 is asking, what is the biggest piece of gold you found while prospecting, and do you still have it?
I've got every piece of gold I've ever found, so yes, I've got it. Out on the road, I have I can get out and moving and make things happen faster with a metal detector. So if I find some fine gold, I'll fire up the gold cube. But most of the time, I'm just wandering around chasing that coil and the metal detector. This year, two things happened that were really cool up in Alaska. I had a friend of mine from Oklahoma here, and we were talking about getting gold, and he hadn't gotten any big nuggets or anything. He'd got a couple small ones. So we both rolled up side by side on the quads, and we're looking at where we're going to go. And I said, we got to do the nugget call. So I just leaned back and I went, nugget, and I carried it out for a minute. I just like longer than I should have. This from an old fart, But he started saying nugget and saying as long as he could. He started after me, and he was finished before I was finished. And he goes, holy crap. And I said, well, that should get him. And about 10 feet away from the quad, he dug a hole. He got a target. He found 3 nuggets in the same hole. And so 3 nuggets in the same hole, they all weighed up to about 27 grams altogether.
Wow.
Oh, my God. You should have seen the look on that man's face. It was amazing. His lips were smiling so hard they'd hooked down his ears. But yeah, so it was that was an amazing time. And then after he had taken off, I was there for a few more days, and I went in an area just down from where we'd found that. And I was like, well, where am I going to go that nobody else is going? So I found the crappiest place I could swing a detector. I got in there and got a signal. It was a real small signal. I went down about 10 inches and I stuck the monster in there because I use a 7,000. So it really pokes a big hole. So I did 7,000, got a signal. I went down with the monster and it couldn't reach it. As far as the monster was concerned, there wasn't anything there. And I said, cool. That means it's deep. So I grabbed another 10 inches off of there and I got down and I call it a basement floor. The rock, it was so big, it was like the full size of the bottom of my hole, the basement floor. And then by this time the monster was picking up the signal and it was coming up as non-ferrous. And I was like, oh man, I got to move that damn rock. So, so I opened up the hole and got around it, and that rock ended up being about as big as a bushel basket.
Oh,
and
jeez.
I had to get it tipped up on one side, throw some crap in there, and tip it back the other way. And so I just pop walked it out of that hole until I could finally get it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so then I had to clean out and get back down to where I was, and I went down another 6 inches beyond the bottom of the rock and pulled a 16.6 gram nugget out of there.
Wow.
Holy, what?
Yeah, so that was good. I really like that.
Yeah.
Holy. You've got the best luck on the creek, I swear to God.
Nick wants to
Holy.
further ask if you no, I just moved. Do you tour and do detecting outings and where you help teach the trade?
Sure, to all the above. Basically my detecting is in between shows. I fill up all my extra days between one spot, point A to point B. I fill everything up in the middle. So that's where my detecting comes in. So, and anybody that wants to go with me, I will teach them. I'll teach them how to acquire a target, how to isolate it, why a signal is less likely to be gold than this other signal that you just heard. I mean, I'll train anybody that's around. I love warping young minds. I mean, teaching. But as far as a metal detecting tour, I've never gone on a metal detecting tour per se.
Newbies. Yay.
Yes.
This is a two-part question, but how has the prospecting community responded to your inventions over the years? And have there been any surprising ways that people have adapted the gold cube or the banjo pan in the field?
Well, there's I think they call it Reed's rigs. He stuck the banjo pan out of the bottom of a bucket and put like a swirling elutriator on top of it, and it's got three little legs on it. I thought that was kind of cool. I've seen people take some milk crates and make kind of a gold cube out of banjo pans, and one just discharges into the next to the next level
jeez.
to the next. So I mean, I've seen a lot of people do fun stuff, um, trying different mats, trying to make their own gold bankers, or adapting a trommel they made out of Home Depot buckets or whatever. I mean, you gotta love a garage monkey. I mean, that's the way I started.
Yeah,
What are your-
Prospecting 406 has a Home Depot trommel bucket, and
Uh-huh.
dumps down into his sluice box. So yeah, and he finds some pretty good stuff.
Yeah, he
Hey,
does.
you gotta get your rocks clean. It doesn't matter how it looks.
What do you think of?
801 says, "Thank you, Mike, for being a great steward on our community and the example you set. On behalf of the Utah Foster Parent Group, thank you for your help with our Gold Cube. They love you, Mike."
Yes.
Wow, thank you. That's kind of why I do it.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah.
What
Yep.
do you think? What do you think of Jason Fargold Wizard's pan that has your mat in the bottom of it with the hole cut out of the side for
I think
speed?
it's funny. Yeah, I think he took I think it was a Mind Lab pan, the
Yep.
one that Mind Lab classifier pan,
Yep.
and put that matting in there. It's like, rough top incline conveyor belt. They use it everywhere from food to post office to whatever. I don't,
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
work in a sawmill.
He moves
Yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of material with that. Breaks it down into super cons, as he calls them.
Yeah. Well, I showed him like once we had been restricted to only pans, I come up with a new way of using the banjo pan. So I met up with Jason out on the lake and showed him my technique for being able to create concentrates on the beach that you can take back and get your gold out later. And he used that same theory to make his pan, and what he wanted was greater surface area, which I understand. But I don't feel like he was copying me. He's obviously not selling them, but hey, whatever works and gets your gold wire out there, and you're
He's
still
not
within the
selling them,
rules.
A lot
Yep.
of people have copied him, and there's a lot of them that are. I've actually got to hold 2 or 3 of them now that weren't Jason's, but
Yeah,
I also haven't been on the beach to use it either. But it's just kind of neat to see someone else's twist on someone else's thing.
yep, and that's fine. I mean, I love Jason's personality, the way that he exaggerates everything. We just came in here 17,252 steps. And his Rigby, he's a hard-working miner.
Yeah, laying on his pink blanket.
Yeah, but I like Jason. The first time we met, he brought me some squeaky cheese, some cheese curds.
Nope.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can tell if it's fresh as if it squeaks. If it doesn't squeak, it's been sitting around too long.
And here's the trick: if your cheese curds don't squeak anymore, throw them in the microwave for 30 seconds. They'll
Okay.
start squeaking again. The warm ones squeak. The warm ones
Nice.
squeak. You just gotta warm them back up. They're good to go again.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's curdology.
Yeah, curdology.
Insider information right there. There you go.
So,
That's
Mike,
right.
who was the? Go ahead. Sorry.
Keith Doty wants to ask Mike, do you have any future plans to come east to hit New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, or Maine for gold?
Yeah, put on a show. Put on a show. I'll be there.
There you
I
go.
like going. I like going to New York. It was kind of funny. We were on our way through. My wife and I were on our way through there, and she wanted to go to Herkimer to dig for Herkimer diamonds. And we're going to spend one day at the Herkimer Diamonds area, and then we're going to go to the Niagara Falls. And we was getting done with that first day, and I said, "Well, Niagara Falls tomorrow." She goes, "Well, can't we just dig diamonds again and forget about Niagara Falls?" I said, "Yes, we can. That'd be great." But I've gotten gold out of Vermont in the past. I've gotten gold out of almost every state. So my biggest piece out of Vermont was a .2.
Nice.
That's a Vermont nugget.
Well,
Sweet.
if you could load up any gear of your choice and go anywhere in the world, where's your bucket list? What would you take, and where would you go for gold, and why?
Yeah, that's funny, because miners, when we have a bucket list, it's a list of where we're going to take our bucket.
Yeah.
It would depend. I mean, if I had an opportunity to go to Australia, that's a metal detecting trip. I'm going after the nuggets. I'm going to go. I'm going to go to some place I can dig deep and get me some big nuggets. So, and in Tasmania, I've got a friend of mine there has invited me up quite a few times to do sniping, and so I'd bring my wetsuit, and I'd for sure bring a regular pan and the banjo pan. If we get into an area to make some concentrates, we'll do some production panning with a banjo pan in lieu of bringing a full size piece of equipment. I've got a couple places in Arizona that I really like going. One place I've pulled, gosh, probably a lot of nuggets.
The place.
Yeah, and there's and we're there on a permission, and but there's an area that is close to that's got better gold on it. That the guy that owns it hadn't been on it for 4 or 5 years. So I've got some letters out to see what their plans are for that property. I'd love to buy it, but we'll see how that works out. Other than that, Nome has got my heart for just about anything. Nome, Alaska. I just absolutely love Nome, Alaska. I feel like I belong there. It's got amazing gold, great people. They're an example was a guy lost a tire off the back of a trailer. He put it on Craigslist where somebody else found it and put it on Craigslist and said, "Hey, I found this tire on the side of the road." Guy says, "Oh yeah, that one's mine," and he got his tire back. I mean, it's a community that watches out for each other, and there's communities like that all over the place, but they're getting harder and harder to find. But Nome is just one of those places. And I really enjoy it there. I love the gold. The gold is amazing. I've gotten fine gold all the way up into the big chunky gold. So, I mean, as far as a gold trip, that would be, that's a good place. One place that I've always wanted to go, and I may never get a chance to go, is Gaines Creek. I don't know if anybody has heard about that mine called Gaines Creek. If you draw a straight line between Anchorage and Nome, Alaska, that's in the middle there, no man's land. That's Gaines Creek. There are so many big nuggets on that property. I belonged to a group of people one time that we almost purchased that, and it fell through. But I was like, this is going to be a dream come true. But but other places, I've gotten some good gold out of California, but I've never been as impressed with California as I would have hoped to be. Maybe I just hadn't got into the right places. I don't know. I'm also pretty much in a hurry when I'm in there, going from one place to another. and I don't have time to spend. So my opinion may change if I had more time. But meanwhile, I just wherever I am is my favorite place. We're gonna make the best of it.
That's nice.
You gave a lot of real similar answers to everybody else, but I did like your twist on Australia, one we haven't heard, where you want to take the metal detector, and
Yeah.
yeah, that's different than most other people have said.
Yeah.
Nick, 40, 406 Prospector was wondering if you have any tips for him when he gets down to New Mexico.
Dry washing. I mean, where are you going to go at in New Mexico?
He's going to be
What
near Phoenix, or not Phoenix, near
Albuquerque?
Yeah, Albuquerque. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, north and a little bit east of Albuquerque, there's a little community called Golden. You know, what's in a name, right?
Mhm.
There's a really good club there. They've got claims all in that Golden area, and there's really good gold over there. So join the club and get to be part of um, their whole circle of places that they can go. And they've also got south. When you go south, you go through Truth or Consequences down by Lake Cabaya, and then you'll head west toward Hillsboro. The GPAA has claims across there. The Grayback and the I can't remember the name of the other ones, but anyway, there's good dry washing in those areas. So if you're down south dry washing, up by Golden, there's going to be a lot of mountains, and there's going to be some water sometimes of the year. So there's going to be some metal detecting, but when you get into those places, there's been a lot of shooters. So wherever the easiest access is, turn around and look at those easy access areas. If you can see them, keep walking until you can't, because that's going to be where they're shooting from, and you're going to be picking up a lot of lead from their activities.
Oh,
Okay.
That makes sense.
on that same
Nerdy-
topic,
sorry, go
Glacial Gold Hunter is going to be spending the next 4 months in Phoenix. Got any tips for him?
The Phoenix area, there's you can go up into the Wickenburg area around the Vulture Mine section. You can go north of Phoenix to it's called Bumblebee. It's Bumblebee is just no ghost town. There's hardly anything there, but there are some club claims, and then there are some areas that aren't claimed up at all. The biggest club in that area is going to be the Roadrunner Club, and you might go to one of their meetings, and if they've got something going on, you might be able to join them on that without having to actually pay dues and become part of the club. The best thing, whenever you go anywhere, I don't care where you go, the best thing to do is find the club, because number one, they have claims. Number two, any of the forestry people, the department of fluffy animals or whatever, they've already asked all the questions and got the answers that you need to keep yourself out of trouble. So get with a club. That's no matter if you're just going to be there for a couple of days and you want some place to go. Get with a club, and there's always going to be somebody at the club that their wife won't let them go out alone. So this is you're giving them an excuse to get out there.
There you go.
Heath Doty's asking Mike, what are your thoughts on the Green Mountain Gold Trap?
I like it. One of the cool things about the Green Mountain Gold Trap is the cash box. The elutriated bed comes out. You can actually take it out without interfering with your setup. That's probably the biggest advantage.
And then Nerdy Prospectors thrown out an invite to Mike and Red Dirt Nation to make your way down to Spring Rendezvous. The invite is out to anyone. Great people. They raise money for the food pantry, and it is in Twin Rivers Campground, May 15th, 16th, 17th, 2026.
Twin River. Where's that?
New Hampshire, I believe. That is in Bath, New Hampshire.
I'm sure.
Okay.
Thanks, Nerdy.
So there you go, Nerdy. Thank you for sharing that out.
Yeah, sounds like a good cause.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to hit the bathroom. I'm old.
Mike, what is the harshest or most extreme environment you've used the gold cube in, and how did it perform?
The worst environment was in Colorado. It was snowing about inch and a half every hour, so it wasn't too bad.
That's a
It was
normal.
it was easy to handle. The temperature was 24 degrees. We had poked a hole in the ice to get water to run the cube, and we had where we were getting our materials from underneath the pine tree next to the river, and there was enough insulation under that pine tree and early enough in the season that we were able to get some good dirt in there. But as soon as we shut down and we were taking the box apart, we we had to take it home to clean it out because it froze.
Oh, jeez.
We knew we couldn't shut it down, so.
I had that happen to me last winter. Every time I would start panning, I'd get like 3 swooshes, and then it would just stay.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I don't get to test today. Let's just dig.
Yeah.
Modern Michigan prospectors wondering if you know of any clubs in Lower Michigan.
Yes, and I will try to get him some information on that.
All right, you guys know how to get a hold of each other.
Yeah.
As so the gold cube then obviously showed on like Bering Sea Gold and on Gold Rush and stuff like that. Have sales improved? Have you been noticed more? How has that reality TV, played a role in your life?
Well, it's opened up a lot of doors. It's created a lot of entertainment, that's for sure. The best time of all of the shows, the one moment that created the most sales for me was on Fred Lewis, the medic guy.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
They went up and they tried to make a go of it, and they made the gold cube look really, really bad in order to justify getting one of the MSI cleanup rooms. The jig and the table and all that other stuff. I got so many sales off of that because people were like, what's this gold cube thing? He said, I just looked it up. I never seen anything like that. That they couldn't have been using it right. Tell me about it. It's like, the location. Like any press is good press. As bad as they made that look, I got so many sales. Now, when I was up in the Palm Rinkies cleanup room, they were doing some filming up in there, and I was in the middle of a 982-ounce cleanup helping them out.
Oh,
84 pounds of gold in a cake pan. I thought I was going to drop it, but but anyway, they came in and I asked them. I said, "What can I do to get my gold cube not fuzzed out?" He says, "Just sign a release." He says, "That way, no matter what we say about it, you can't come after us." I said, "Done." And it was that. Yeah. So I had I'd gone up there with the intention of doing that. I was working a project with the Palm Rinkies, and also there's a ball mill company up there. I was helping them dismantle. But when I went up there, I made sure that I brought enough of those yellow placards to go on the outside of the gold cubes for all the people on Gold Rush. So after I got that paper signed, I made sure that everybody had a placard on the side of their gold cube. And I I called Vern. I said, Vern, I'm coming over. You at your vessel? And he goes, yeah. I said, all right, I'm going to be right there. I've got some labels for the side of your gold cube. And he says, I was wondering when I was going to get some of those.
Yeah.
So here I am down in the bottom of his vessel, and he's showing me around and everything. And the whole time that I'm screwing those placards on the side of that gold cube, he's sitting there bragging about his composting toilet. It's like, it's like, well, this is going to be fun to remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was so proud of that composting toilet. So he just, it was just hilarious.
We're gonna have to ask him about that when we have him up in January.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's I went down there and I brought the screws and the screwdriver and everything just so I can make sure that he had put the got that on there where the cameras could see it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
Vern, he's kind of funny.
So what was your biggest cringe moment with somebody using the gold cube that you were like, you are doing this absolutely wrong?
Well, it was with Fred Lewis, but then I realized that was going to get me a lot of attention, and everybody was calling me and saying, like, did you see this? Are you going to sue him? I said, no, I'm not going to sue him. I said, I am anticipating a bunch of sales, and I was right. So it could have been a cringe moment, but with the track record of the gold cube and the way that people appreciate what it does. I mean, they knew better than to think that Gold Rush TV was being truthful.
Yeah.
TV.
Yeah,
So
reality TV.
Yeah,
I saw a real similar thing with that the new Riverdance show where he sent out a bunch of his jigs to people all over to use. And, the one guy in his first unpacking and running of it, he was feeding it like it was a garbage disposal. And, I can't think of his name, Riverdance's name, but he paused the video and he turned it into a teaching moment, and it was really great because I was even watching like, I don't think it's supposed to be like that. And
Yeah.
he was like, yeah, well, this is what he could have done, and then he showed, and whenever anybody did anything, he switched it up. And I think a new episode just dropped. I need to get out and watch that and get caught up again. So
Cool. Yeah.
So that's a very important thing. How important is patience and feed rate, and what mistakes do you often see in the field with the gold cube?
Impatience is probably the biggest. Two things. Number one is they just set it up and run some water in it and think all the bubbles are going to go away. So you got all those bubbles trapped in the vortex mats, which are capped with surface tension, and the gold just flies right on by. Getting the mats wet like they're supposed to is the most important part, and just turning the water on doesn't do it. You've got to actually address the mats. Now, the couple of ways to address the mats is like me. I just turn it sideways and just splash it. And when the mat looks wet, you can hold it underwater, and you don't see any. They look like diamonds when there's an air bubble caught in there. But if your mat looks nice and black and plain, then you're ready to go. That's one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is just taking the water pump and just put your thumb over the end of it and spray until your mats are wet all the way down in deep. Another way you can do it is take Calvin, the Michigan prospector, take some of his creek drop and put it in a spray bottle. Just put about 1/4 of an inch in the bottom of a water bottle, fill it up the rest of the way with water, and just spray your mats wet. Spray your mats wet, and as soon as they're wet, the surface tension's been addressed with the creek drop, and you'll be able to turn the water on and get to work. If you're having a hard time with getting the bubbles out because you forgot to scrub it and you're brand new out of the box and still has the manufacturer's oils and stuff on it, you can just take and fill the mat completely with sand. Just load it right up. Just do a big mud pie out of the mat. And when you turn the water on, the mud and water and the dirt and everything is going to act like a wick and bring the water in there, and there won't be any air bubbles to worry about. So you'll be able to get right to work, even though you didn't read the instructions. It's like, we don't need no stinking instructions.
So are you saying like maybe scrub it with a brush too?
Only once. Scrub it with a brush, like a potato brush or something like that. When it's new out of the box, that's when you just get the oils off. Other than that, if you're getting into a habit of scrubbing your mats all the time, you're going to wear your mats out. You're going to rub them off. So I'm using. I've still got the same mats in my cube that I did when I first got it. When this is cube number 2, so it's 15 years old, and I've got the same mats in there. So it's your mats will last a long time unless you're scrubbing the hell out of them and knocking everything off. Like, I use a wire brush; it works better.
Jeez.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But yeah, so with the sand, I call it forcing the mat. Everything else is just getting the ability to get the bubbles to get out of there. So spray bottle, even if all you got was like a bottle of Windex, even Windex will take care of it. So you'll be able to just spray your mat wet and turn your water on, away you go.
Awesome.
Corbett said he
Moonshine.
needs to test the gold cube. Let's see if Santa sends me one.
Yeah. Ho, ho, ho.
Yeah.
Everyone's asking, what's Santa Pung doing for Christmas?
I'm going to Colorado. I've got to go to Nevada, and I'll be back on the 22nd of Nevada, and I'll turn around and go to Colorado. Then I'm going to help my son with some plumbing, and then we're going to have Christmas.
There you go. Right on.
What do you do when you're not gold mining then?
Just working on gold cube stuff. I used to have a woodworking business. If you picture a 6,000 square foot and bigger houses, so up into the mansion size. My biggest house I ever worked on was 52,000 square feet. But if you picture their fancy stairways that just kind of curve up the wall, and they've got the balconies, and it's just someone's got way too damn much money. That's the stuff that's what I worked on. And
been there, done that.
Yeah, I've bend the rails, I turn the post, I do all of that. If it was a lot of fun. My biggest turning was 30 inches in diameter, 32 feet long. I made that column for a bank. It was a fluted column.
Wow.
My smallest turning was a doorknob out of Cocobolo for a Barbie doll house. And usually, yeah, anything in between there I can handle.
What's your favorite wood to turn?
Probably red oak. Believe it or not, a lot of people hate turning oak, but I seem to have a good go of it. It all has to do with cut direction. Maple's a good one. Walnut, I kind of enjoy walnut, except it's a little bit toxic. When I'm doing something pretty fancy, I like Cocobolo. I made my wife's when I proposed to my wife, I made her ring out of Cocobolo.
Oh wow!
And yeah, so I made it out of Cocobolo and ebony and bloodwood, and the whole thing was only a eighth of an inch wide, and I had all that wood in there, and I actually inlaid with curly maple. I love you on it. So it was it was a lot of fun doing that. And then when we got married, since I told her I wasn't going to wear a ring, I made me a wooden ring too. And when we got married, when we exchanged the rings, we exchanged the wooden rings. And then, but she got the full set of gold and diamonds like
right.
any good woman should, So but I proposed to her with wood. So
With wood. Oh, okay. Well, okay, we won't go there.
yeah, I set you up. Come on.
You opened that button.
There is no pun there. Holy.
No Pung.
No pun intended. That's right.
Yeah. I got a tattoo. So
Oh my god. Well, Mike, thank you so much. We're at the 2 hour mark. You're a busy guy, and we always appreciate when you come and visit us over here on Red Dirt Nation.
Absolutely.
Guys, you got anything else you'd like to say to Mike before we head out for the night?
I would just like to thank him again. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. It's enjoyable.
It was nice to be on the panel this time. I watched the last time they interviewed you or we interviewed you, and I was just in chat. So this was great. Nice to meet you. I hope to someday meet you in person for real. Get some lessons from you.
Have to make a meetup somewhere.
It was like a rock star moment.
Yeah.
When I met up with them.
Montana.
Thank all you awesome people in chat. We've had a pretty good audience all night. I've been checking the numbers and appreciate it.
Yeah.
Keeps us going. And anybody watching this tomorrow on the replay, we thank you guys for giving us the views. Thanks everyone for supporting the new Red Dirt Nation channel. It's much smoother this week than last week.
Yes.
and
we'll blame it on Jason.
And hi to Jason. But we also want to say hi to Pam too, because I know she's back there somewhere. So hi, Pam.
She's out of earshot, so I'll tell her.
Oh.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks,
Stick
Mike.
around after the
everybody.
outro, and we'll BS with you in the back room, Mike.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, have a good night. Happy Pans,
everybody. Good night, everybody.
We'll see you next week.
Thank you again.
Live long and prospect,
everyone.
See you next week with Andy from Aussie Gold Hunters.
Awesome.